What do you think?
I think we're dead meat. Real dead meat.
Go ahead and laugh, you guys. If I ever find a little bastards that did this, they're dead meat.
Hey, man, nice to meet you.
I was going to
Same.
ask if this was your streaming setup or not.
One of them. It's one of 5. So
You have 5 streaming
Oh my
setups?
gosh.
Yeah, we got different things we do. So
Oh,
you know,
if only.
they all need different stations of things. So yeah.
Sure, yeah. Yeah.
How's it going, man?
Good, man. So nice to meet you. It's so cool that we got to do this with you.
Yeah, same here, man. I'm super honored, dude. You know, been here and always. Obviously you guys are who you are. So it's it's an honor.
you are who you are, man.
Oh no, man. You guys are killing it. Just still to this day, man. It's been an honor watching you guys grow and seeing what you do. So it's pretty awesome.
Well, it was so cool when your team reached out to us because your latest song, Does She Know, is like horror inspired. So what kind of what went into the writing of it? What movies were on your mind when you were doing that?
Oh man, the classics. Well, first my favorite is Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Oh my
yes.
gosh. I don't know what I was expecting, but it was not
I was
that.
expecting something more classical, but Killer Clowns.
No, Killer Clowns from Outer Space. I liked all the kooky horror stuff. So it was Killer Clowns from Outer Space. A very close second was was it called Joyride? Remember the trucks that came alive and they all
Maximum Overdrive?
Oh
Maximum
my gosh.
Overdrive. Maximum
the
Overdrive. That's what it
taste.
was. I always get that mixed up with Joyride.
Impeccable taste.
Yeah, so it's stuff like that, like all the kooky stuff. Obviously, once Nightmare on Elm Street started getting funny, that's when I started getting into it. Because I could watch it then without being absolutely terrified. I'd at least get a little laugh out of it.
Yeah, like once he's doing jokes, like the poor deaf kid, he kills him by you can hear a pin drop.
Yeah, the
kind of
hearing
fun.
aid.
He's such a jerk.
Yeah, once the tongue came out of the phone, I was
Yes.
I was sold. I was ready to go.
Were you scared of horror movies as a kid? Were you like a scared kid?
I was terrified because we lived in a mobile home, so like there was so many noises and the walls were made out of paper, and it was just always something scary. And I had 2 other brothers, so they made it their life's mission to make sure I was terrified at all times.
Who'd they scare you with the most? Like what horror characters?
It wasn't really horror characters. Like when it came to like my brother scaring me, it wasn't horror characters. My sister was a hairstylist, and my aunt was a hairstylist, and just like I had a ton of hairstylists in my family. So for some reason, I guess for work, there was always these mannequin heads around the house, and my brothers would like hide them in weird places, like in the cereal cabinet, or they'd wait for me to like open the bathroom door and they'd like stick it out. And it was always, I was more deathly afraid of that than obviously Freddy Krueger. So that was the bane of my existence. Freaking mannequin heads. That sucked.
Man, between all the horror props that we have here, and then Chelsea also does some costuming and cosplay.
Yeah,
we have mannequin heads.
We have wig heads
everywhere.
Yeah.
So this would be a nightmare house for
Anytime
you.
one of them gets moved somewhere, you're not expecting to see a human-shaped something in a place where they're not supposed to be. It's the
And they were all like, I understand like the wig heads, like the styrofoam, like all white ones. These were like full-faced makeup.
Like detailed,
it was like
person
detailed,
looking.
it was ridiculous. Unnecessary.
That's great.
I'm curious if you're a horror fan, do you play horror games?
Ooh, yeah, because you
I
stream a
do
lot.
play horror games. I guess the latest would have been Phasmophobia and VR. Like, I guess that was the most immersive I can get because, obviously all the Resident Evils. Let me see. I haven't gotten back into Silent Hill. I want to get back into it and see. Like, I was just, as a child, I was like, I didn't know what I was doing. You know what I mean? Like when it first dropped, I was like, I have no idea where to even navigate through this game. What is this? You can go left and right, and I'm not doing it.
Chelsea's playing Silent Hill 2.
I'm playing Silent.
Right now.
I'm streaming it. So after this, I'm going to go stream a couple
Silent
hours.
Hill 2, the remake.
Nice.
It's easier to have people with me, even if
you gotta have somebody
chat.
in the room. That's what stopped me from playing Phasmophobia in VR anymore because people like to sneak into the room while I had the headset on.
Right.
give me a little push, but I stopped doing that. Gotta keep my guard up in this freaking house.
Yeah, neither of us have played that
Phasmophobia,
yet. Phasmophobia.
Yeah.
I really want to because it sounds like it's like a found footage, but you're
like
in it.
Hunting. It
100%.
Terrifying.
Yeah,
100%. Yeah, it's just everything is just super dark. Obviously, it's horror, so the flashlight does fuck all. So it's all the dealings of a great horror film, but it's you're inside of it. You know what I mean? You're literally you don't know what's going on. You have to banish all these spirits and things like that, and it's just it's so immersive, man. It's really cool. So I highly recommend you try that in VR for sure.
Okay.
The last time I felt like I was playing in a horror movie in game form was Outlast. I don't know if you played that one.
Outlast. I got into Outlast on the second part.
Okay, so, yeah, I haven't played the second one, but that first one. Yeah,
so I got into Outlast on the second part. I was looking for horror games, and my chat they just all they were talking about was Outlast, so I had to check it out. I lasted probably 3 scenes.
Yeah,
I was done. Done. I wasn't the most sober person when I was playing it too, so things got a little more real than they were supposed to.
Right. Yeah,
so I was done.
The only VR game I've played extensively was I played Subnautica in VR, which was kind of its own scary game.
Yeah, that game is
that'll have you in your own world for a minute for sure. Yeah,
sure, man.
Yeah, but no, there's tons of different horror games in VR. And I think they have more horror experiences than they do horror games.
Ooh.
I can't remember the name of it, but there's one experience, and it's basically like somebody shot a movie in VR. You're the subject of the entire thing. And there's this one experience where you're just sitting in a chair tied up.
No.
And then people are just doing stuff to you, and the controllers are vibrating when they do it, and it's just real creepy, and it's like Saw levels of contraptions around you and stuff like that. It's creepy as hell.
I just think it's such an interesting contrast between movies and video games, and specifically VR, where like, yes, horror movies can be viscerally scary. Like many people refuse to watch them, and that's totally fine. I get it. Yeah. VR, at a certain point, do we think it's gonna get too good, and is it going to kill someone because it's too scary?
No. You know what my theory is? It's gonna get immensely worse.
Yeah.
It's gonna get so bad because people are gonna try to start implementing too much realism.
Mm-hmm.
And it's gonna get so real that they're gonna start introducing like actual actors.
Yeah.
Like there was a game that they almost ruined it for me. It's a game called Slasher.
No,
and it's it's a mix of video game and movie. So the parts where you actually play the video game, that's the game in VR, but everything that's not like active gameplay, it's like real people.
Ooh.
And it's
cool. Wait, so it's like an FMV game, but
Style
VR.
like FMV, but VR.
Yeah.
But it's like you're walking through this town, and you're trying to figure out this mystery of the slasher that's happening, and it's just like in between. It's like the whole game is just a big cutscene, and the cutscenes are when you play the game. So
that sounds awesome.
Yeah, it does.
So it's actually you're like watching and being a part of a movie for real, because it's like actual human actors in these scenes. So you have to, it's like a choose your own adventure kind of, like a Telltale game kind of, you know what I mean? So it's actually pretty cool when you get into it. And the game is great. The actors, though.
Oh, yeah. Hey, true horror tradition, you know?
Right,
you're talking about those 80s horror movies.
They got it right. It was very, very, very much Cabin on the Left type.
But it's good, of like genre and stuff, because it sounds like this is kind of like a campy, and I love the idea of a choose your own adventure kind of horror game. Those are always so fun. Like, when you were writing Does She Know, was it always kind of in your head? Did you have a specific kind of horror theme, or was it just, I'm going to play around with this sound and then maybe discovering what it fell into naturally,
I think the thought of just having multiple women find out what you're doing at the same time is just terrifying. It's kind of, Man, what was I watching? I know I was watching something.
Was it something like
I thought of John Tucker Must Die, but I don't know.
There's a Fatal Attraction, I feel, is the classic.
It was like an action. It was Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
Oh, okay. There you go. Yep.
And we were watching that, and we were like, man, imagine like, because I have a friend that, it's his forte. He's known as a ladies' man, and he has multiple whatever. And we were like, man, imagine if all your girls did that, and they found out all at the same time, and they got together and made a plan just about. So, it kind of came out of that, and we started exploring with different sounds, and I wanted it to sound really gritty, and obviously the way it came out, but it was it was kind of an experiment at first, but then I just started, thinking about as I was playing the chords and stuff, like I always picture somebody coming in behind me, and it looks like I'm just like the evil, the mad scientist on his organ.
Yeah. I was gonna say like the Phantom of the Opera or something.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like just the Phantom of the Opera, just like just an old kind of Frankenstein feel. You know what I mean? Just that grungy, that film grain. Everything I see just has that film grain on it when I hear that song. So it's there's a couple of genres and a couple of subgenres that go over in the song, but yeah, for the most part, this was like, as soon as I made it, I was like, we got to do something on Halloween for this. This is crazy. So yeah, I'm all over the place with mine.
Neither of us make music, so we don't really understand the creative process that goes into this. For you, or does it vary from song to song? Are you writing the lyrics first? Are you writing the music first? Do they come kind of together?
It kind of varies from song to song. A lot of my times, I mean, more times than not, I think of just a random thing. I'd be walking outside, walking around, and I see a stick and a leave, and should I then I'd say something like, should I stick around or should I leave? And I'm like, oh, that's a pretty cool song. You know what I mean? Like, so it's super variable like that. A lot of it happens while I'm pooping.
It's when the best thoughts occur.
Yeah, some people read the backs of soap bottles. Yep. Some people,
you can't. You nobody's bothering you. You know what I mean? You leave your phone out the door.
Just, do you have a no phone policy when you're?
I don't have a no phone policy. I just always forget my phone in the bedroom. Oh, and by the time I get started, I'm like, well, I got nothing in here. So
I think that people used to be way more creative before phones, just because of the time spent in the bathroom that they had to force to just think about things themselves, man.
Oh man, yeah,
that's very true.
You never go to like friends' houses anymore and see the basket of books on the toilet.
There's like crossword puzzles and joke books.
Not happening. They're like, look it up, just Google it. I'm not buying that damn basket anymore. It's not even on the list anymore. Books and magazines. Nobody has magazine subscriptions anymore. Good Lord. Crazy.
Yeah, man. Here. We would have loved to have you in the video, but I understand that like you're a very busy man right now.
We were gonna do some pickups. We were talking about doing some pickups, but when I saw you guys' first draft, I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna try to match that. That looks fucking awesome. I'm not gonna ruin this thing. That looks fucking awesome. This is great. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, it was all done in a single night. It was like a 12-hour shoot.
That's awesome, man. I really appreciate the work you guys put in. I was gonna try to add myself in there, and I was like, nah.
It would have been great. It would have been cool to see. But there's always a sequel video. They drive 100%. Off somewhere. Where they driving to?
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. Now there's always plenty of web for the story to branch off on, and I think we should just keep this going, man. Let's make a series out of this thing.
yeah, especially if you continue to pursue the dark electronic sound behind the song. I just
100%.
Yeah, it feels like noirish almost.
Yeah.
Just like
yeah. Well, the next one's black and white, so here we go. Let's bang out a Sin City real quick. So
Hell yeah, dude! Yeah, that yellow bastard running around.
But yeah, man, I'm definitely down to explore more with you guys. Working with you guys has been, just amazing, man. This is really dope. Honored, obviously. I'm a huge fan. So let's do more.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh, and likewise, we should stream some scary games together.
100%.
Cool. Yeah.
That would be
100%.
so much fun.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm streaming in the other room right now, so feel free to come through.
I love how you both are about to end this and go stream.
Yeah, we're about to go. Go. Be gamers. Go grind.
For sure.
I'm gonna end this and take a nap. That's what I
There it is. No, I really appreciate you guys, man.
Yeah, dude, it was great meeting
thank you so much.
Thanks so much for your time, and thanks for the pleasure of getting to work with you. Like, this has been such a cool thing for us. We've had a pretty good year on the channel, but this is like the perfect way to cap it off, is to doing a project like this with someone who
absolutely
really
thank
like
you guys,
respect.
man. That's really dope, man. Thank you. Same here, man.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Well,
Let's
all
get
right.
it.
Thanks, man. Well, I'm sure we'll see you again sometime.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Take care. See ya.